Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Cosmos Possible Worlds. This is a series that originally aired on Fox, I believe, and this is sort of not a reboot, but it's a continuation of the classic Cosmos series hosted by Carl Sagan, noted uh, scientist, uh, uh, big thinker when it comes to all things cosmic and where we come from, where we're going. And Neil deGrasse Tyson has taken on his role of hosting this exploration of all things, literally all things, from the beginning of time to the far reaches to the end of time, possibly. I only watched one episode. There's two seasons? No, one season. There's just one season. It's 13 episodes. It is big. It is, strangely enough, you might find this a little strange, but Seth MacFarlane, the guy behind Family Guy, is the producer of this series. He's a big science nut. He's a big Star Trek fan. Of course, he made the Orville, which still hasn't finished, hasn't come back for its final season yet, but at this point that I know of, he produces along with Brandon Braga, who's also heavily involved in Star Trek over the years. But it's sort of bringing this whole concept of the creation, the permutation, and the expansion of what we know as reality and space and time, and not just from a personal stance of humanity, but cosmically. Just, I know this is just getting too wordy weird, but there's a lot going on in this. I actually I had wanted to watch this back when it first aired, but I just never got around to it. This it has a lot of big concepts to deal with, and it frames them in a way that's not so high school science class. Yes, it speaks on uh, the origins of the universe. It speaks on the origins of man and evolution and big how small we are in the calendar of history. What tiny part we are we are part of in the history of existence of the universe. They map it out early on in the episode. If everything we know about the span of history was compressed into a 12-month calendar, and they break it down, they show each of the different months sort of representing a major moment in cosmic history by billions of years. Each month is about a couple billion years. Uh, the existence of man and its impact on everything, or its influence, or its everything fits into the final seconds of December 31st. That's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, it takes on a number of different aspects of people who challenged common concepts. It goes into religion. It's one of those things where you're just like, you don't want to talk about politics or religion a lot of the times. Well, this deals with religion at times. I keep saying at times. I'm sorry. It deals with its with how we related to God, our concept of God, our understanding of God, even at a time before there was religion. God was in the sky, the sun, the trees, the birds, and we used those to create meaning and purpose and context in relation to things we just didn't understand. And what I think this show is trying to do is help us understand to a certain degree, not just where we come from, but holy cow, where we could go. And there's some pretty big effects in this thing. Tons of digital effects that create spaceships, and future concepts of our world, this Earth, and other planets. How we, if we do it right, if we don't keep screwing it up, we could head into worlds beyond worlds that we can barely comprehend. What the way we can't comprehend now, in the same way that the people in the 19th century were barely comprehending the function of electricity, harnessing and managing and using electricity was a new, foreign thing just a little more than 100 years ago. That's crazy. And by the standards of, I forget what the principle is called, but it's the kind of thing where we keep, every year it seems like we double up in our speed in building and creating things. Although I think the last 2 years we kind of came to a standstill for one, in many ways, except for providing that vaccine. I'm not going to get into that, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Just got my booster. But yeah, it's this is fascinating to me, and I think I'm going to add it to my. I'm probably never going to get around to it, watching it, but I'm going to add it to my list. It is something I want to explore. I mean, if nothing else, it's visually stunning, and Neil has a way of coming across that it makes it, again, not just a lesson from a school teacher kind of thing or a science class. It is exciting. It's interesting. It's like uncovering a mystery. Things that we've touched on in different ways over the years that we honestly were inadequate in how we expressed our understanding of them. If that sentence made sense to you, well, that makes one of us. Anyway, yeah, I highly recommend it if you're interested in science and anthropology and the cosmos and the past, the present, and the future. There's some stuff in here that is entirely possible, and honestly, what we're thinking of right now, our concept of the future might be so totally underwhelming as compared to what is actually possible in the next century or the next 1,000 years. I mean, we're barely on this planet less than 100 years ourselves, one at a time. Imagine a world that, we can't imagine. We can't imagine what 1,000 years will look like beyond this, unless we, extinct ourselves, which is another thing they deal with in this, because we're not the only ones. We're not just responsible for the extinction. We've been man and versions of man, and we've also eliminated other versions of humans in the past. So yeah, the Neanderthals. Yeah. Also, watch out for bees. Take care of them. We need them. It's really important. If you don't understand why I'm saying that, seriously, just watch at least the first episode and you'll get an idea. I can only imagine what's to come in the next 12 episodes. So, who else? Oh, by the way, there's animation is included in this at times. They do animated sequences through this, and some are voiced by some fairly well-known actors, including Seth MacFarlane, but also Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard from Star Trek: The Next Generation. So, in his own series on Paramount Plus. Is it Paramount Plus? Yeah. So yeah, there's a number of familiar faces and voices that take part in this, because Seth knows a lot of people. So in this geeky realm. So I highly recommend it if you're of the scientific mind. If not, maybe this will do it for you. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
8.
8. Okay, well, it's easy enough. Oh, okay. Well, we're getting a movie. Um, we haven't had one in a little while. A lot of shorts. This one I actually was interested in seeing back when it was in theaters, but I never did. So this is going to be all new to me. Um, I loved the book when I was a kid, but I didn't get around to watching this movie. And I don't know if it did too well because I don't think there's any sequels in the makings anytime soon. But we'll see. Maybe it's good. A Wrinkle in Time. We're watching that. We're watching A Wrinkle in Time next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.